Whoa, 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 you don't see this every day. This is a brand new HPA system released from Arcturus, and to be honest with you, I hate it. What is going on, male gang? Boaz here. Should I say excited? Should I say I'm excited? But anyway, we were showcasing a brand new HPA system released by Arcturus Tactical. I'm sure a lot of you guys on the internet probably have been waiting with bated breath for this absolute monster to make its appearance in the airsoft market. I'm in front of the camera here today simply because of one reason: Isaiah is sick. So that's pretty much the only reason why I'm covering it today, because if you know me, I am like ontologically just opposed to HPA in general, but I cannot deny its absolute performance benefits. But with my personal gripes aside, let's go ahead and take a look at to see what Arcturus has to offer us with the new Trinity Armament Alpha Series HPA. The brand new Trinity Armament Alpha Series HPA comes in, I believe, 3 different lengths. So you have your really shorty CQB, SpeedQB version, which is more catered towards the indoor player crowd. You have your middle of the road. This is the 11.5 inch carbine, which is good for both environments. And finally, you have a more full 14.5 inch longer boy version, which is primarily used for outdoor gameplay. The one that we have in front of us here, like I said, is going to be the 11.5 inch. It's a perfect all-rounder. You can go ahead and take this guy indoors and outdoors and really excel in both environments. When it comes to the external build quality of the Trinity Armament Alpha Series, Arcturus does not mess around, especially if you tried or held in your hands any other Arcturus built airsoft replica. You know what I'm talking about. They do not mess around. They definitely knock this guy out of the park. We're talking a full aluminum external construction. No mystery pot metal. You're getting full aluminum build quality, okay? So your upper and lower receiver are gonna be made of aluminum, and even the lightweight M-LOK handguard, which looks very nice and aggressive in my opinion, is also going to be made out of aluminum as well. Outside of the really nice aluminum construction of the Trinity Alpha Series, it's also going to be coming with a lot of the updated polymer furniture from Arcturus. That being the very nice, slim, low-profile flip-up sights, a very nice, slim, and easy to access battery compartment polymer stock, and the pistol grip here, which has this really nice texturing. It's almost like a stipple kind of texturing. It is really nice to hold in the hands, very comfortable. And finally, you're also going to be getting the nice 130 round mid-cap magazine with a BB window, so you can keep track of your rounds while you're shooting it downrange. One thing that I really love about the Trinity Alpha Series is that it does also come included with a functioning mock bolt. Now that sounds kind of weird, but basically what I'm trying to say is that when you pull the charging handle back, it will lock the mock bolt in place. So it makes adjusting your hop up super nice and easy. You don't have to like hold the thing open like this and then adjust your hop up and then release it. You know, you just pull the charging handle to the rear, it locks back into place, you make your adjustments, and then with the functioning bolt release, you hit that and it'll send the mock bolt home, leaving it nice and covered up from the outside elements. I really do enjoy the fit, finish, and feel of the Trinity Alpha Series. It feels super high quality in the hands and it looks absolutely killer out of the box. But now we're gonna be talking about the internals, and this is kind of where I stop liking this thing because it's using a dirty HPA system. Oh, the horror. All joking aside, Arcturus has partnered up with GATE to include their brand new Pulsar D system into the Trinity Alpha Series. For those of you who are not familiar with the Pulsar D, basically what it is, it's GATE's latest HPA engine that they've released onto the airsoft market, and this thing is pretty solid out of the box. So housing the whole thing is going to be a standard version 2 gearbox shell, and then housed inside that is going to obviously be the GATE Pulsar D engine. It's running off of a dual solenoid system, which one of the solenoids will go ahead and push air to propel your BB, and the second solenoid is going to actuate the standard AEG nozzle, which can be replaced or upgraded if needed, and a standard AEG tappet plate as well, which is very cool, very interesting. You know, it's not using its own proprietary system, so you can readily replace, repair, or upgrade this with standard AEG parts if you want to. And then controlling the whole system is going to be the GATE Titan 2, which you can program all of its firing functions via Bluetooth on the GATE app on your phone, which is super easy and convenient. And this thing also has the GATE Nova trigger, which is fully adjustable to your heart's content. And this whole system is compatible with other aftermarket triggers if that's something that you're interested in. The Trinity Alpha series comes included with a 6.02mm Type bore QPQ coated inner barrel, which performs phenomenally, and paired with Arcturus's rotary style hopping unit, very great to see. But the Pulsar D is powered through the rear, so you're gonna have wiring running through the rear of the buffer tube, and it has your standard HPA style mini connector. Now, if you don't have one or if you don't want to run one, don't worry, Arcturus has you covered. They will provide a nice battery adapter right out of the box. So you'll have your HPA mini connector on one end and you'll have a standard Dean's plug on the other end. So if you want to have a longer run time on your Trinity Alpha series, you can easily do so by wiring a nice Dean's 7.4 volt LiPo battery into the buffer tube, and that'll just give you way more trigger time without having to replace the FCU battery. Shooting the Trinity Alpha series is boring as hell, which is why I primarily don't really like running HPA systems when I go play Airsoft. It's just very minimal feedback. You know, you press a trigger and it just makes a little farting noise and it sends a BB very far, very accurate, very consistent. So this kind of system is very popular for a lot of Airsoft players who want to have the most consistent, the most highest performing Airsoft replica on the field. I think the Trinity Alpha series very much checks that box. Just as far as the range and accuracy goes, because it's an HPA system, it really reaches out and touches people across the field. You're able to get some really nice, accurate long-range shots, provided that you use some pretty heavy BBs in here. Again, this guy can reach out and touch people across the field, no problem at all. As far as rate of fire goes, this thing is pretty much fully programmable. You can get this guy running to up to 40 rounds per second if you want to. Pretty unethical and pretty impractical in my opinion, but if you just want to flex that at the testing range, I guess you can easily just wow your friends with that blistering 40 BBs per second rate of fire. And of course, when it comes to just running around with this thing, this guy is extremely lightweight. I kind of forget the fact that this is a full metal Airsoft replica because this whole thing is made out of aluminum. You know, like it's very comparable to the weight of, let's say, like a full polymer AEG. Like it's that light. So why would you want something like the Trinity Alpha series as opposed to a regular AEG? Because Arcturus also sells the same exact model, but just as a standard version 2 gearbox AEG. So why would you prefer something like an HPA system over that? Well, to sum it all up in one word, it's performance. At the end of the day, the standard AEG will be very limited as to how well it can perform or how consistently it can perform because it's limited to the form factor of the gearbox. The HPA system, like the Pulsar D in this Trinity Alpha series, is not limited to that form factor. So everything is electronically controlled to make sure that you get the exact same amount of air every time you press that trigger, and that yields better, consistent, and more accurate results when you're shooting this guy downrange. And if shooting people across the field and tagging them and making sure that you can get very consistent one taps on other players out there on the field, if that is a primary concern or a priority for you, I would say going HPA and getting the Trinity Alpha series is definitely the move. At this point, you're probably wondering how much the Arcturus Trinity Alpha series costs, especially in its HPA form, because if you guys know anything about HPA systems, especially pre-built ones like this, they do cost a pretty penny. But as of right now, AirsoftGI.com, the Arcturus Trinity Armament Alpha Series HPA series costs $830. So make sure to take advantage of the Wama combo for automatic free shipping and reward store credit. The entire Trinity Alpha series in HPA will cost the same exact amount. So if you want the little shorty boy for indoor fields only, it will still cost $830. If you want this 11.5 inch middle of the road carbine, it will also cost $830. And if you want the longer boy for outdoor use only, again, it will cost exactly $830. But the $830 price tag, whew, that is probably one of the most expensive airsoft replicas that we've touched on this year. It is definitely a very hefty price tag, but let's consider what you're getting. So you're already getting an HPA system installed into a very high quality, externally built airsoft replica. If you wanted to do this custom on your own, if you wanted to get, let's say, a more comparable, externally well-built system, and then buy a separate HPA engine and put it into this, into that bad boy, it will most likely cost a lot more than what you're getting with the Trinity Alpha series straight out of the box. And at the end of the day, with Airsoft, you really do get what you pay for. So paying that $830 all at once does seem expensive, but if you factor in, and if you look at other people's custom built AEGs, they probably have spent that much, if not more, on their AEG build to get it to perform at such a high level. So you're pretty much just getting all of this at once, which I think is an option to go if that's what you want. If you really want that top tier performance straight out of the box, I would say an all-inclusive, all-in-one HPA system is definitely the way to go. There's no AEG that will ever really beat out the sheer performance of an HPA system. Obviously, not everybody can afford something as high-end as the Trinity Armament Alpha series. It is a very expensive airsoft replica, but lucky for us, Arcturus has spread out their airsoft product line to encompass a wide variety of airsoft players with varying budgets. So like in front of me here, we have the brand new Karambit here from Arcturus. It is a polymer body with an aluminum rail system, and they have included a version 2 FE gearbox system with their in-house design FE ETU, which performs phenomenally. And we have the longer Sword Mod 1 from Arcturus as well. Again, same with the polymer body and metal handguard system over here, which makes it nice and light, still feels very solid in the hands. And because it's running the FE gearbox system from Arcturus, this thing is an absolute beast out on the field. And the best part is both of these models cost $245. So you can get some really high-end AEG performance without breaking the bank at all. So it's really good to see that Arcturus is not only just releasing the highest of high-end, but they're also checking off all the boxes in between. Like I said before, Arcturus releases a full spectrum of different airsoft replicas at different prices. And of course, I have said that the Sword and the smaller Karambit uses Arcturus's new FE system, which performed phenomenally. So some of you guys might be wondering, why would Arcturus release something like the Trinity Armament HPA system when they already have a very good thing going here with their AEGs? Well, at the end of the day, it is your preference. What is it that you look for in an airsoft replica? So even for someone like me, even though I would, in theory, have enough money to go out and get a Trinity Armament HPA system, that's not something that I look for in an airsoft experience. In fact, I would prefer much rather run something like this instead of an HPA system, just because it's just so much easier to use. I don't need to go out and fill an HPA tank and get my own regulator and worrying about running out of air and modulating all these little fine-tuned controls to get it to shoot how I want to shoot. Now, that's not really how I enjoy airsoft as a hobby. I much rather just would get something that performs reasonably well, if not really well out of the box, plug in a battery, and just go have fun and play out in the airsoft field. And the fact that you're able to do all of that with something like a Karambit or a Sword from Arcturus for under $250, I think that's really saying something. And I think it's a really good thing that they exist out on the airsoft market today, and it will help a lot of people in the airsoft community help enjoy airsoft that way as well. Thank you guys for sticking around and checking out our overview of the brand new Trinity Alpha Series HPA from Arcturus in collaboration with GATE. I think it's really cool that Arcturus partnered up with a company like GATE to deliver some really high quality airsoft stuff for us, the end users, and hopefully more airsoft companies will continue to collaborate with each other to come out with some awesome new airsoft products for us to use and have fun with. But let us know in the comments down below. Is HPA something that you guys still run in this day and age of airsoft, or do you guys prefer using the tried and true AEG? Is the cost of running HPA, does it warrant the performance that it delivers you? Let us know in the comments down below. But if you guys like what you're seeing, please make sure to like the video, as well as hitting the subscribe button and that bell icon to get notified of every time we upload a new video. All of the new latest and greatest Arcturus Airsoft replicas are available at Airsoft GI, and by you guys going to airsoftgi.com, it directly supports this channel, helps keeps these lights on and that camera rolling. But other than that, my name is Boaz, and we'll catch you next time, Mail Gang.